Hey guys, fix that a little bit. That ought to do it. Hey, good evening. Glad you guys can hop on for the paint stream. Make sure you guys just in the way of that. There he is. Angriest boy. Alright, good to know everything's working finally. But you know what I don't have? My booze. Cheers. Alright, so this is a custom printed Uruk-Hai Berserker from, give me 1 second, I can find the model information. I just have to figure out which one of my monitors has my main screen. There we go. Middle Earth, armies, Uruks. Ah, shoot, don't have the file name. One second to find this guy's creator. Credit where credit is due. Now I got it off of Colts 3D. Oh, I gotta log in, right. Right. Log in. My collections. Shit, I didn't save it. My bad. There he is. Berserker miniatures, 10 poses. By Angel of 94 Hinohos. So this was one of 10 models that they had. And right now I'm in the middle of playing a game of Middle Earth strategy battle game, and we're doing battle companies right now. And one of my berserkers has gotten promoted to a hero. And to make him even more of a bastard, I've gone and bought him some armor. So this new model here is for that new guy. Well, that old guy who's now been promoted. But I figured, hey, let's see if I can paint one guy start to finish today, ignoring the base because that needs time to cure. But he'll be one of like 200 something Uruk-Hai I painted. Let alone the maybe one day I'll get to the army of Sarumans I have, because I don't like painting white. Anyways, let's get started. So, choose this brush. Ought to be fine. Just a small hobby detail brush. If I can get this fucking thing off. There we go. Every paint needs good mix-up. So most paints I dilute a little with a bit of water first, just a little bit, maybe like 20-30%. But not the metallics, because they got all the little particles in there and it kind of fucks everything up. So he doesn't have too much armor on him, but he was pretty much naked before, so this is too big of a brush for me, I think. Belt buckle. Let's position this a little better. Ideally, I can get like an arm or something to reach everything over the top. I also don't normally work directly out of the pot because if you're doing a bunch, your paint starts to dry a little bit. Some of my older ones I used to do that with got very gummed up. I'm using one of them later. It sucks. These little guys have been fantastic in my games. They're just absolute fearless psychopaths. They hit hard to kill even though they're naked. Because of some well-made decisions I made early in the campaign, I've got a bunch of them. I'm not pulling them. Yeah, I am pulling them too far out. Move my elbows around a little without hitting the camera. Let me move myself over. Whoop. A little better. That'll do. But this guy doesn't have much metal on him. Pretty much his helmet, his sword, and the big buckle. I'll do the other small buckles after. Towards the end for more detail. I got a paper towel. Toilet paper square. Oh, I should probably talk about the paints I'm using. I always use Citadel paints, for the most part, just because I've always found that if I got paints or markers or any kind of thing from a bunch of different sources, I wound up with duplicate colors. So one company's dark blue might be another company's very dark blue. They look different until they dry. So this is just the Citadel's Lead Belcher. A decent dark silver metallic. So there's the helmet. Can't see it too well. Let's move it far enough back the camera can focus. And it's just too tiny. Let me get the sword. This brush is not quite cutting it for painting the sword. Shitty flat brush. Shitty flat brush works great. Except when it has a cat hair on it. Multiple cat hairs. I don't care if I get his hand yet, because I'll be painting that over. first step, you can always afford to be sloppy. 17th step, not so much. Keep shifting them away from the camera. There on the handle. So I think looking at them, that should be it for any of the larger spots that have any steel on them. Brushes it. All dries pretty quick, so I'm basically just going to be going layer by layer until I hit the washes, which I'll save for the end. Next up, I'll be using the Doom Bowl Brown for his flesh. Mix that one up. So this one I will dilute. I got a little bowl here of clean water, and oh yeah, that one got pretty thick. So quick glob of that. Dip of water. My palette's close to the camera, but you can't see it. You'll have to trust that I'm not lying. Hard to do. I'm a shifty guy. All right, a little bit off the mixing brush to help clear that up. The sculptor who made this model gave him nipples. Little bit of extra detail. They went the extra mile to give him Uruk nipples. And this is just sloppy so I can clear the brush. Let's see. His arms. I primed him black, so he's going to need 2 coats. Let's get that base coat on first. Still afford to be sloppy pretty much anywhere, as long as I don't run over the metal. Pull this guy close so I don't. Most of the models. Oh, fuck. Dropped it. Shit. Shit. All good. Everything's fine. Everything is A-okay. I'm going to do that like 30 more times this stream. God forbid if I try holding a metal model, I drop those constantly. Make sure to get his ears. Got a little of that on the helmet, but chin. This other ear. So that's one. Just gotta get. Sometimes they can be so small, it's real hard to tell what you're even looking at. One of the models in the collection actually had like the full skin texture, like down to all like the little triangle-y cracks you see in your skin. It's like, no, I'm painting this 30 millimeters tall. He doesn't need full skin detail. It was not necessary at all. Isengard has been my favorite army to play so far. Mostly because it's easy to paint. The guys are tough. It's easy to paint. It's a great starter model army. Fuck. There he goes again. There he goes. Falling on the floor again. Tiny hands are a pain though. Something kind of happened with these models. I'm noticing it in little spots on here. The model didn't like fully dry because of the way it was made. His helmet is a separate piece. At least maybe not on this one, but some of the others. And because of the scale, they wound up like paper thin. But they trapped resin and cleaning solvent and everything inside the helmets. They just like stayed wet and shiny for like a week. This guy. Yeah, I can't see it anymore. Thing was shiny and soggy and flimsy. Wet the brush. Actually, I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush. No, because I don't need to. Oh, it probably helped if I lowered my chair. Oh, that's so much better. This definitely looks like I'm gonna have to invest in getting it like some kind of overhanging camera. well-toned thighs in the Uruk community. All the anger builds up in them and collects in their muscle, and then they let the murder out. I should have looked into music copyright rules, because I've got the soundtracks and I would have loved to just have them going in the background while I paint these. One downside to the 3D printed guys is they can be a little rough, texture-wise. The way the details scale, sometimes somebody makes a really detailed model and then just shrinks it, kind of like this guy. Then all those details just kind of snag on the brush as you're going. Angry little hands. I like that picture of Sarum and Bob Ross painting an angry little Uruk-Hai. And then another one, because everyone needs a friend. Now we're going to do that 10,000 more times. I just snapped his pinky off. I don't even know where it went. His pinky literally just snapped off. It's so small. I don't even know it's like in the brush or in the paint. The only one who's going to notice that the scale is me, because I was fuck. And you. Shh, don't tell anybody. Oh, yeah, the paint's not sticking in his lower back. Should got too smooth there. That's my fault for the way I primed it. Base coat's done. Ow. Oops. So this color right now is Doombull Brown. For the most part, the Uruks are all shades of brown. For the basic troops, you basically dry brush a silver, so everything looks like, you know, real rough, barely polished and hewn edges for their steel armor. Then I usually do the skin next in the Doombull Brown, kind of a reddish brown. I'll take a darker brown and do the base coat for all the leather, and then take a lighter, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a middle orangish brown for the leather straps. I'll do a light silver wash, or the coat, light silver coat over the, it's his abs, I see it now. Over chainmail, if they're wearing any. This guy is not. Just his loincloth. And I got paint on his belt. It's okay. That's okay. And then I'll give him a shade wash Black, glossy black, or brown. And then I'm pretty much done. A couple teeth. Maybe their eyes if they're not wearing a helmet. Fortunately, this guy's terrible helmet is just a couple eye holes. I say terrible because he's evil, not because it's a bad helmet. But his helmet is just simple. 2 black dots for eyes, and that's all I really care to do for him because that's all he really needs. I saw somebody painted their King Theoden, who stands just as tall as this guy, and they painted the irises on him, like with eye shine and pupils, and I was just like, no, too much. I will never be that good, and I'm okay with that. Paint is cracking on his leg. Why is it doing that? Because they do make a couple crackle paints. They're not for painting the bodies. They're for like doing the terrain. I think that is a little dab on his abs. I'll tweet a better picture of him when I'm after the stream, once he's finished. Just a little hard for the camera to see him. Give that a second to dry up a bit. So now we're going to go from the Doom Bull brown to a regular dark brown outside, but that clacking noise is a steel ball bearing I had to put in here to mix it up because I kept painting straight from the cap and it really dried out. Got to connect some water. But it's almost done, so I'm not going to give a shit. I'm not going to mix it. I'm just going to go straight to using from the pot lid. And I'm going to do all the leather with this color. It's covered in a few buckles and straps and all that. Real kinky, angry leather daddy. I'm looking for something that says, Dad is into leather. Oh, like a leather daddy. Sounds perfect. It's a little thicker, so it doesn't go quite as far. These bracers have little metal studs on them. I don't want to have to deal with that, but it's part of the model. Ooh, I messed up and I missed part of his elbow. I hope the paint's still wet. The Doom Ball. Whoops. That'll be fine. Okay. Back to the round side. Stop moving. There we go. One of the things I didn't never particularly cared for with the all the Warhammer stuff was all the spikes and skulls. Like everything. Spikes and skulls. So there's been a lot of terrain pieces that are like, oh, that would look really nice. And then I take a closer look and it's just spikes and skulls. Ah, what did this little innkeeper use to decorate his house? Oh, a window full of skulls. Oh, great, great. Anything else? No, just skulls and spikes. Just want the handle. Good, nice leather wrap. It won't cover it up completely. Some of the metallic will show through and just kind of give it a shitty, rusty appearance. Which is okay. It's an Uruk. The straps are done, so I'm going to use the larger brush to do the rest of it. His loincloth is made out of faces. I wasn't too much of a fan of that, just because it was kind of gaudy. Like evil gaudy. It also kind of made it flimsy when I was trying to print. So all like the screaming eye holes over his balls. I keep pulling him out of the camera view. His butt cheeks. You know they don't change those loincloths. Loincloth on the other side. Dab his balls. Oops, almost broke the sword off. Oops, there's crap in the brush. I did a shit job over here. Bonk. I don't need those. He does need those. He needs his boots. I actually snapped him off his base like 30 seconds before stream started and had to reglue him real quick. Got those boots with the fur. Exposed bottom jeans. That's an Uruk for you. I had to make his right foot out of putty because the 3D printer, he detached and it was like the only part of him that didn't form, and I was low on resin. I was like, fine, I'll fix your stupid foot. I'm gonna get like 95% of the way through painting him, and I'm gonna snap his sword off. Right at the end. The skin on the edge of his boots. There's the nice thing about painting these guys, they're pretty quick. Does he need to come more forward or farther for it to focus? Hard to tell. Alright. Mornfang Brown is the next brown. I think I'm just going to end up working almost entirely out of the pot lids for this guy. If I was doing a bunch of them, I'd mix up and thin more, but for just one guy, it'll be fine. So this, I'm going to do thinner layer on the strap so that way the straps can have that dark brown border on them. When the models are mostly brown, every little bit of contrast helps. So many buckles. Buckles are the medieval equivalent to steampunk's gears on everything. Use your pouch clothes, buckles. Lead your boots, buckles. Keep your hat on your head, buckle strap. All right. I just realized he's basically wearing suspenders. Like the angry orc equivalent of suspenders is just some poor bastard's face strapped around your balls with a leather strap made of their skin hanging over your back. Real fantastic. Let me do the leather straps on their wrist too. It's not just a phase mob. Everything has to be leather straps. Should be good. Angry dude. Mojito. Nice. Alright, next one's Dark Rattan, Steel Legion Drab. This one I did try to water down at one point. I kind of watered it down too much, so it's actually good. Just out of the pot after I fucked it up. I'm going to use this to kind of highlight some of the fur on his boots, so that everybody knows he's got the real authentic Uggs. None of that knockoff bullshit. Not those. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. All of the real her am looking at him. My apologies. I'll never sing again. Don't worry. No promises. Shit. Well, it's still wet. I wasn't fast enough. Fuck. I was fast enough. Haha, take that. Quick soap with water might be able to remove any freshly painted paint. Well, it's still kind of wet. Once it dries, just give up and paint over it. But between the legs. So this guy, he's not one of the official Games Workshop models, but their Charcot model, the guy that takes all the Warg Riders to go fight, pulls Aragorn off a cliff. His model is just fully wearing assless chaps. A couple of the Warg Riders are just bare butt. We've tried like no, probably that's probably just like, you know, his chaps wrapped around his pants. Nope, bare butt. Warg Riders go into battle fully bare-assed. I have such a massive pile of shame of unpainted minis. Like it's, I think I counted, last I counted was like 1,300. 13 fucking hundred miniature guys. Like, goddamn, what was I thinking? I know exactly what I was thinking. The collector part of my brain took over. I was like, gotta have one of every model at least. Just kind of forgot just how many there are in this line. And the thing about like this, about the Middle Earth games compared to other Games Workshop stuff, is that it's really well balanced. So you don't have to like constantly come up with new stuff to rebalance the game. It's just kind of like every once in a while, every few years, you know, maybe a profile gets adjusted. All right, that's the fur. But he's also got like the thin rocket cord going around his boot. So I'm gonna get an even smaller brush. Barely even see this one. This is my second smallest brush. And let me tell you, that smallest one, like the paint, you gotta work in like the briefest moments because the paint will dry before you can like touch your model with it. Alright, those straps came out a little thick, but they're fine. They're fine. I have to wing it on the foot, hooked up foot. I should stop swearing. Alright, should be good. Should be good on that. So I think he should be good for a wash. Alright, wash time. I'll give him a few more seconds to dry. But after I finish this guy, I've got a bunch of Galadrim horses and knights to paint up. I can see the Balrog. Unpainted Fell Beast. We got a Shelob back there too. Bilbo. A little bit of time to cut the sweet. I hate painting horses. Horses are terrible to paint. I hate painting horses. They usually have large areas of exposed muscle. And it is so goddamn hard trying to get like an even coloring on them while also still shading their muscle. Absolute pain in the ass. I've never painted a good horse. But I'll give him another. Yeah, he's probably good. He should be good. Alright, wash. So first I'm going to do his armor with the Nuln Oil Gloss. It's black glossy wash. But unfortunately it doesn't have much of it. It's just his belly plate armor thing. His sword and his helmet. Gives everything a good, gross, greasy look. There's a fuzz right here. Get out of here. That'll settle in all the cracks. Help darken and shade everything. Does also knock the colors down a little bit. Some into his eyes, make sure his eye sockets are nice and dark so I don't have to paint him. It's a little dark and shiny. That's all that needed. Now I'll do Agrax Earthshade for the rest of them. Hi, cat. Hey, buddy. Ooh. He doesn't want to be in here. He wants to be free, but I will not allow him to be. And this I'm basically just going to wipe all over everything. Splat, splat, splat. I don't want it to go on too thick because otherwise it'll pool too much. That looks weird. That's when everything looks like really wet, but like a gross wet. I don't like a good gross wet, like you want an herb to look. Like a gross someone's been swimming through sewage. Look. Yeah, I got too much on his hand, but part of this stuff is really runny, so you just kind of wick it off. Just gotta wick it off. Wick it off, it'll look wicked bad. We do still want it to go on more than you would another paint, because it'll thin out and dry. Hi, buddy. What's up? Buddy, did the mama dump you in here? Mama dump you in here? You stuck here with me. Hey, buddy. It's only the third time. Only dropped him thrice. So the gloss will dry nice and shiny. But if I put the regular shade on too thick, it's like it gets like a sticky looking shiny. Like on your matte surfaces. That's it for the wash. Move it this close, will it focus, or is that just, that's too far out there? Too far away. That's that seems to be the best spot to focus, but a little small. while his body's drying to his mouth. Small brush again. Brush your teeth. Back of his throat, this model. Oh shit, I've been. Get off his boots, that's fine. No one's gonna notice the boots. I touched some of the wash. And that was corn red. Khorn. Korn red. Keep a bottle of isopropanol is good. Sometimes it doesn't come off the brush all the way. And it was still, brush tip was still red. Don't want that getting into its teeth. Wraithbone. Oops. The teeth, I'm just going to take a little bit on the brush and just dot a few times on the edge of his jaw. That usually does it. It did not. I botched that. I botched that hard. Oh, I made it worse. Oh, I almost spilled my paint. I fixed it. Okay. I fixed it. It's all good. We're going to do the smaller brush, though. Paint basically got like an uneven blob. So yeah, it dried on there already. So quick. There's some weird upper teeth. And some lower teeth. We'll give that brush an immediate wash, though. Seems like 24 strands of like horse hair. It's real thin, really stupidly thin. I'm not sure if his wash is dry yet. So instead of doing the blood and silver, I'm going to do the goo for his base. This is one of the Citadel technical paints. Sterling mud. Kind of a goopy, semi-glossy mud. Very granular paint. Just take a glob of that, smear down, because the look I'm going for is when they're assaulting Helm's Deep. Out in the rain, the mud in the field. So I'll apply it kind of thick, and then as it starts to dry up a little bit, I'll push in with this little spatula tool, and I'll put footprints in it. I've got just so many goddamn Uruk-Hai. The army itself doesn't have very good heroes. We got Saruman, but he's kind of a glass cannon. He's got magic, but most of the other heroes are not quite as good as the heroes from other armies. Playing against Gilgalad, and it's like, yeah, unless I use a special move, I'm not winning a single fight against him. The way that works is each model has a fight value. And what you do is you roll dice to see who wins the fight. And if there's a draw, whoever's got the higher fight value wins. Be a nice glob on the base. Most guys have fight of 3, sometimes 4. The Uruks have 4, which is good. Gilgalad has 9. So you can also roll like 4 or 5 dice for the duel. He rolls a single 6. It's, nope, done. Not bothering to roll. He got it. Let's see. That is... Alright. The rest of that should be dry enough that I can do silver on his buckles. Real careful on this one. The little things that I'm assuming are like pieces of metal. Too small to really tell what they are. They actually almost look more like belt loops. Let's quickly do the little, all the studs on those bracers. Doop. Hold them steady on the table. So it's gonna be in the, oh, the mud. I forgot the mud. Shit. So I didn't smear it all over them. Like, I'm good. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Angry boy. So I wasn't thinking of doing this earlier, but I am painting this guy up because he got a, this model got a promotion, so I want to put a white-handed Saruman on his face. Oh, paint bubbles coming up out of my paint. Crazy guy. Face paint. So now I've got the technical paint, blood for the blood gun. It's nice, gooey, semi-translucent red that looks great for doing blood. So we are just going to put some of that all down his sword. Brush it down. That, just be real quick. Swipes up from the edge, because that'll kind of smear and splatter. Go on unevenly. It's like he just carved his way through some poor Rohan village. On the edge. Do some glob here on the tip. Side. Berserkers are honestly so much fun in the game. And a little splatter on him. Big splatter all over him on the side. Now he's just been having a ball with murder. All right. I don't think his base is quite ready for footprints, but it never hurts. If he's too wet for footprints, they just kind of settle back into the mud. Oh, that was a wet bloody sword. Oh, still the bloody sword. All right, all right. Picking him up, setting him down, holding him still. Still a little wet in the center, but I think it'll be okay. But there we go. He's got a couple more steps, so I gotta wait for that base mud to dry. And I don't think we want to sit here for 3 hours just literally watching paint dry. Last thing I'm going to do, another coat with a glossy Nuln Oil on the base, and it'll kind of make everything like dark and muddy, and it'll settle in the footprints and make them stand out. Got a couple little grass tufts I'm going to put on there. Haven't trampled that down. And that's it. He's all set. He's ready to go. He will be slaughtering my opponents during the next match, I hope, unless he gets killed and dies. But I had the dice turn against me before. But I'm really pleased with that. I didn't expect it to be that fast, but then again, it is an Uruk-Hai. They're one of the easiest. The easiest of the ghosts. The ghost army. The Dead of Dunharrow. Because all you basically do is spray paint them white and dip them in a green shade. And yeah, they're good. Maybe you dry brush another green on there to kind of highlight them a little bit, but yeah, they're fine. But cool. I think I'll call it then. Thanks for joining me. Egregious and Craig, as you guys are watching. Your 2D models are finished. Mine is just about done. I got to do the mouth, and that's it. And then I'll start rigging everything up, and we'll be good to go. All right. Thanks for joining me. Have a nice night. The flaming will be back is like the best I have right now for a have a good evening. Got to make that too.